Good Tuesday morning. How you doing? Been a while since I made a video. It's been terribly hot. Not terribly humid, but very, very, very hot. And, you get outside and as soon as you start doing anything, your sweat just pours out of you. On the bench here, we're going to do a shop video here today, a show and tell, I guess, a little bit. What you see on the bench here now, not last Sunday, but the Sunday before, I went to Jewett City and paid $5 for this Roberts radio, and it works quite well. Well, I can't, let's see. All right.
Rescue me on WICH.
Roberts RC828. Not the best audio sound, a little tinny sound compared to my realistic DX440, which has very good sound, but it's similar to that. AM FM shortwave up to 30 megacycles, in very nice shape. Like I say, I bought it at the Jewett City Flea Market, not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before. I only spent $6 up there. I did not have very much money, but I said, the hell with it, I'm going up there anyways. If I waited until I have the money, I'll never go anywhere. So that worked out really well, and whoever had it, it was in a basket on the ground with a bunch of other stuff and a couple of other radios, portables, which had batteries left in them and corrosion. There's no batteries in them, but they were at one time. This one was perfect. No corrosion, was taken very good care of. $5. And it has a cassette, of course. It picks up really well, but it doesn't have a great tone to it. It'll certainly never match my GE Super Radio, that's for sure. This past Sunday, I went to Jewett City Flea Market. I think I spent about $2 up there, maybe $3. And that included a cup of coffee. And I came back and there was a yard sale not too far from where I live. Now, I need another power supply like I need a hole in the head, but I don't believe in building them when you can get them fairly cheap sometimes, and certainly a lot better. This is a 1640 B&K. Now, I've got power supplies. I've got one here that works very well. I paid $10 for that a year or two ago at Jewett City Flea Market in mint condition. And this I got off of eBay, I showed you. That goes up to 6.5 amps. Then, of course, I got this one that came from my old shop. Then, of course, this one come from eBay a couple years ago, which is for high current, 6 and 12 volts. So, the day before yesterday, being so damn hot, I had to run the AC. It's comfortable in here now, because it's early in the morning. It's only a little after 9 in the morning. I calibrated this. This has the book with it. It even has the warranty card and everything in the box, but the box was water soaked, but the instrument never got wet. It was in the styrofoam and everything. The guy had it set out there with a bunch of other tools and stuff. He says, $10. I calibrated the voltages. There's 5 potentiometers here, R1, R2, 3, 4, and R5. So you got R1 and R5 to get the low range and the high range voltage. It goes from 10.5 volts to 15.5, I believe. it doesn't go to 0, okay, whereas my other power supplies do. And it has a red line for 13.8, which you probably cannot see there. And it has an overload protection. Now what I did so far is I calibrated the voltages, and they're right on now, so when you turn the dial, it's right there, as close as I can read it, with 15.5. I think it's 15.55, as close as I can get it, because these things, you just touch them and they just are very, very sensitive. So, at the low end, it's 10 point, it's supposed to be 10.5, I think it's 10.55 or 53, something like that. Okay, so the only thing I have to do now, and I probably will not do this on video, this is just a show and tell video here, and I meant to set this up to 720p, but that's already started at WVGA, so we'll leave it there. What's I going to say? Okay, the thing is, it needs a 4 ohm 50 watt resistor, which I do not have. I have a 5 ohm 50 watt resistor, or 30 watt, I'm not sure. So you can't get the current. It's 3 amps maximum, 5 amps overload, and then it'll trip the overload and the LED will come on. I didn't get to that part yet because I'm digging through a box of resistors that I got off of the classified section of Antique Radio forums, and because the power resistors I used to have, which I didn't have very many of, went with my shop, so I had to rebuy everything again. And I have a lot of low ohm resistors, but I don't have 4 ohms, and I have nothing I can make up 4 ohms. But I'm going to be looking today off camera. So I want to set the overload protection on this, and then I can put the cover back on. Everything, it doesn't look like it was serviced, but there's one thing I want to point out here. Boy, that's half full already. Okay. See that bridge rectifier down there? That don't look original. That looks like it was added. That's the only thing I see in this. Can't talk this morning without this throat clogging up on me. It looks like somebody replaced it, but it's awful small. I guess I could make up a bridge rectifier, although it seems to be working okay. Everything else looks original. The only thing I don't like is it doesn't have a replaceable fuse on the outside. You got one here. I didn't pull it out to see if it was the correct one. Everything seems to be fine in here. Single transistor on the heatsink in the back. And let's see, we're still plugged in. Okay, let me put the keep losing my magnifying glass all the time. Let's see, on volts. Okay. Make sure we're on. We got my, how do you like my Rube Goldberg setup here? Let's take off. Okay, we got the shunt resistor off right now. I got to get a 4 ohm resistor. This is 5 ohms. It's just not going to give me a. So I didn't do the overload check, because this is your overload LED. It's supposed to light when it goes over 3 amps. And with this resistor in here, which is 5 ohms, it's drawing 3 amps. And you're supposed to have it set, so I think it either draws 4 or 5, which is the surge. Let's just put this on. Okay, it's supposed to be 10.5 volts with this control all the way down. Your meter, I know you can't see this, I'm using the Kodak ZE1, you can only focus in with about 10 inches away. Your voltage starts at 11, not 0, okay, on this particular power supply. And so you're supposed to have, according to the book, 10.5. Well, this is as close as I can get it. And it's supposed to go up to 15.5, I believe. So I'm turning it all the way up, 15.49. So everything is set and calibrated there. And as you can see, the meter's reading in the red. That's the current. And anything over 15 volts is going to be in the red. So if you set this to... I got to get my magnifying glass. I'm sorry, I can't see that. Let's see if I can get 13.8 volts here. Eyesight's bad, boy. All right, 13.8 volts, as close as I can read that. It's 13.68. Just see if I'm really on that. I'm reading off on an angle here, so there's a parallax error here. All right, 13.8, 13.78. Okay, so I'm happy with that. What this book does, it tells you it's made for CB radio servicing, and you can use it on your CB because it mentions a lot about CB. The guy I got this from is, at least wise, he was in the bodywork business, and he's selling a lot of his bodywork tools, selling out stuff, and mostly tools. So he might have used this on his CB or something. Now, this don't look like it was taken apart, but it had to have been, because I don't think that bridge rectifier is original. It's a little too small. As you remember, that's the main rectifier for the power supply, and I know it's only a 3 amp continuous and 5 amps surge. So I would think you need a little bigger rectifier. Now I have some heavier duty diodes. I can make up a bridge if I need to, but if I want to draw more current, I usually use that one there. That's my go-to power supply right there. The Heath Tri power supply, which is up there underneath the amp, you can see, that's only good for, I believe, 1 amp or 500 milliamps. So that's for very, very light duty, like for transistor radio and so forth. I just got to find a home for this thing. But you can see that she's pretty good. Now, I have to... Let me just put this on here. Let's just see what it'll do here when I put this on. It pulls it down a little, but there's not. All right, 13.64. And that resistor is getting very warm. Okay. Okay. Alright, so I took it off. So there's a little pull down on this. It could be that this is a little undersized, but this certainly does not look original. B&K equipment, as far as I know, is factory built and not kit form. So it's perfect. Like I say, 15.5 volts. See, now see we're up on the 15.51. Rather than the 15.49. So there's a little variation there. I'm not going to worry about that. Because when I do anything, I usually put a digital multimeter on the output of whatever power supply is doing the job. But this is reading right on the meter as close as I can read it. So what I got to do is I got to dig through that box of resistors and find a 4 ohm resistor, try to make up something. That's going to take me quite a while. So I did want to show you this. So this was $10 this past Sunday. This was $5 the Sunday before. And this power supply came with the book, the parts list, and the warranty card. And this power supply up here that I got from Jewett City about a year and a half, 2 years ago, for $10, also came in a box with the warranty card and the book. So I have little brown envelopes down here with the service manuals and the instruction schematics or whatever. So I'll just put it in one of those envelopes. And it even came with a B&K test equipment book. When I worked at Aikens Electronics in 1978, we sold B&K equipment. So a lot of these pieces are very, very familiar with me. Why save it? Why not? Okay, so we'll turn that off. This off button also is a reset, so if you have to reset it, you shut it off and it resets. I gotta unplug this. I have a bad habit of leaving it plugged in, and you don't want to do that, even the switch is off. I will in the future check for ripple by putting a 3 amp max load on it. You do that with dropping resistors, put it on an oscilloscope and see what the ripple is. I was supposed to do that with that tri-power supply up there and check that out. I don't use it all that much, but I do use it. And like I say, this was in my old shop. I think this is good for either half amp or 1 amp. But I gotta find room. Where am I gonna put that power supply? I could build a cardboard shelf. Hi, Doug. Can you imagine, Doug? Let me tell you something here. Come on, listen to my situation here. Can you imagine if I built these shelves out of cardboard? Can you just imagine where this equipment would be right now? 3/4 inch plywood there, Doug. 3/4 inch. It's 5/8. That's back when I can get bargain wood. Anyways, that's it for this video. I just wanted to share this with you. There's going to be a lot of inside work and shop work right now because I can't work in this heat. I have to still buy the shut-off valve for the rider mower, but it's just too damn hot out there to do anything. And I still got to turn that air filter around. You know, the pre-filter, I had it in wrong. I still haven't done anything. The tractor hasn't been run. It's still covered up with a tarpaulin after I put the tires on. Tires are holding up just fine. Also, some of my viewers in the past have pointed me towards Musty One. I'm really enjoying his videos. I'm spending a lot of time watching them, but I'm learning a lot. That guy must have a lot of space to store all these things he buys. But I am enjoying his videos, but some of them are quite long, and some of them are 40 minutes, 45 minutes. But I'm learning a lot, and I enjoy watching them. But it takes me away from answering comments sometimes. I usually check my newest video, as I said so many check on comments on that. So there may be some older videos that if you posted something, I may not answer you because I don't always check. I very rarely check my older videos. So I've repeated that many times in the past, so I just thought I'd let you know. Another thing I got too, I just happened to see it. I paid $1 for this the day I bought this. It's an adjustable, very strong magnetic light for $1. And it's going to be coming in handy for working under the van or whatever. And it takes 3, I believe it's AA, 3 or 4, I don't remember now, 4 I think. One of them was leaking and just barely started corroding the spring. I cleaned it up with some emery cloth, and it works very well. All right, that's it. Thank you for watching. I got to calibrate the overload current on this. And we'll do that off camera. There's nothing like getting the book with the unit. Now, if I didn't have this, I would be hunting around online, and probably is available online to get the calibration on this. I was kind of leery about it, but when I first got this, I know I'm talking too long. When I first got this, it was way off whack. It wasn't reading on the dial here at all correctly. When you put it on 13.8, it was reading about 1.5 volts high or low, I don't remember now. But anyways, after proceeding with the voltage calibration, she's right on the money, as you saw, pretty close. And that's it. Oh, you're probably wondering what's going on over here. This is going to the ham auction. I tried fixing this, listening to one of my viewers, which had told me to try to get in there and probe the meter. Well, I did all right, and I popped the spring and it all came apart. So now it no longer sits on mechanical zero. It's definitely shot. So it's going to go to the ham auction this fall. I hope I make it. I'm surprised nobody wanted it for parts. It's quite heavy to send out, so I'll just dump it at the ham auction. The glass alone is good. The meter movement is shot, but the dial bezel is in very nice condition. So for what it is, I'm going to dump that along with a few little things that I've got. So today I think I'm going to work on this and get this. I got to find, like I say, the 4 ohm power resistor that I need, or make up something. I've talked enough. Keep cool, everybody. Thanks for watching.